round 7. This is round 8 with Paul O'Neill and Richard John Neal.
Yeah, Nelson was saying that the pressure in some respects is off him. Remember, he had that massive run of wins and then lost out at Thruxton last time, and that just took the pressure off him getting a run, but he's come back and grabbed the win. He starts 4th on the grid, so if you look at the second row, right of screen, the blue car with the white top, that's the man who is absolutely acing the championship at the moment, with a lead of now, I was going to say, over joint second place, Louis Capozoli and Nicky Taylor, but Capozoli's at the back of the grid. There was a technical infringement yesterday, so he has to start at the back, he's got the camera car for this one, so we might see him coming through. There is Louis Capozoli, so we may well see him coming through the field with the camera car after the technical infringement yesterday. Yeah,
and actually a very good point that I just heard in my ear from the race director from ITV Sport, just saying, how are you going to see the lights from there? So he's got a 10-second penalty as well, so he'll have to wait for the red lights to go. The marshal usually tells you when to go, so that's not a bad thing, but look how many cars on the grid, when they're pointing at the crowd and the grass, the hands device won't allow you to look down the actual pit straight to see if the lights you can see. Why
would you not use that extended straight? I know it's not track, but why would you not, in that instance, have extra grid lines going back in a straight line to avoid?
Probably because it's not part of the. Yeah, it's not licensed part of the track. I may be wrong, but
no, I think you're right.
I'm only thinking that would be the problem. But I've seen touring cars lined up like this before. But yeah, this is going to be a beauty, I think, Richard.
They usually are. Yesterday's race only had the one safety car for the minis. Now, regular viewers will know that we've been plagued with red flags and safety cars, and we do get a lot of races that don't go that way. And I think we're hoping that today's one is going to be in the category where we get some good, clean racing, some fast racing, and hopefully not any safety cars. But we do need to take a look at how they line up. So this is a partially reverse grid. Round 8 of the championship, Matt Hammond, who was 4th yesterday on pole, Joe Wiggin alongside, then Tom Ovenden and race winner Nelson King. Nicky Taylor is next up from Charlie Mann. Jack Byrne with Alex Solly on row 4, then Oliver Meadows, great result for him yesterday, best of the season, and back to form for Luca Marinoni Osborne. Jonathan Sargent on row 6 with Frankie Taylor. Max Coates is guesting in the Coopers, and he lines up alongside Tyler Lidsey. Paul Manning, Tyler's teammate Nathan Edwards next in the Interclens car from Brendan Fitzgerald and Alexander J. Happy 19th birthday tomorrow to Alex. Morgan Root next from Mike Paul. Lauren Taylor is next from Mick Fitzgerald, then Sophie Wright and James Parker on row 12. Row 13, Barry Holmes and John McGladrigan, Lee Pearce and Clark Wells, followed by Ben Jenkins and Louis Capozoli. Got to give a shout out to Alfie Glennie, who was involved in an incident yesterday, car extremely badly damaged. And Alfie, I think himself is okay. There was talk about him coming up and having a chinwag with us, which we couldn't facilitate, sadly. But wish him well. Look forward to seeing his car straightened out and back for the next time we see these cars. It's going to be at Thruxton. So look forward to seeing Alfie then.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a great grid, isn't it, actually? And Max Coates in the middle of things. We were talking about Max, obviously, in the JCWs, in the top class coming into this one. And yeah, I think he's just showing everyone how hard it is.
It is. It's a brand new car. He said the engine's a bit tight. He said, I'm not making any excuses. He said this is a very difficult. I thought he'd have driven these before, but he hasn't. He hasn't raced in these cars before. And if you're wondering why he's out there, it's because he's got a lot of local support, a lot of companies that support him in his quest to get into the British Touring Car Championship. Also, he races the JCW Minis. And he wanted to reward those home fans with a chance to come along and watch him race on the touring car package. So fair play, put his reputation on the line coming in, and you know, and he's doing okay.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. It's putting your reputation on the line. But I know what it's like to have a tight engine, a new car. Things can be too stiff. These cars particularly are stiff. If we are on board with that car later on, you will see the driver's head bouncing up and down there. They're not easy to drive.
They are not easy to drive. So Matt Hammond on pole position as we look. Joe Wiggin, who is in the mix as well, and lines up in P2. First podium of the year for Performance Tech with Pantera Carpentry. So Performance Tech, last year's champions, of course, with Dom Wheatley getting back onto the podium, which is great for those guys. We're getting ready, though, for round 8 of the Quaife Mini Challenge Trophy. The Cooper's getting ready. So Matt Hammond, the former champion, on the front rein, gets away well. Joe Wiggin in second place. His dad's racing down at Brands Hatch this weekend, so split family and a decent start. Of course, we worry as they go down into Clervaux. Wiggin looks to the inside run. Then it's Tom Ovenden who looks around the outside. It's a very close finish yesterday. Ovenden was very racy. It's Nelson King in fourth place, followed by Nicky Taylor. They've all made it through that part clearly. Decent start for the Minis.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Hold your breath, though. It looks like they're all line astern as they come through the chicane. That's all good. These cars not massively powerful, but oh, big slide in the background. Well held.
Yeah.
You would have been holding your breath, Captain. That was a big one. But is this going to be a change for the lead? It's down the inside. Hasn't got enough down the inside. But no, just still holding on to the lead, Hammond. And now he'll get a bit of a gap now because that was a great little run he had. But this is going to be tasty now. 2 abreast.
Yeah, Joe Wiggin getting stuck in. So is Ovenden. So it is in second position Nelson King, who would love to get another win. Change of regulations, of course, slightly less cars reversed for the final race of the meeting, and that tends to just put the front runners a little bit nearer to the front for race 2. And Nelson King doesn't really seem bothered, does he, about reverses from fourth on the grid. Wiggin under pressure there, side-by-side moment for him with the 486 car. It's Jack Byrne, the rookie championship leader, right in the thick of things, but decent enough start. There is Jack running on the outside. Several drivers having issues yesterday, having to start down from the back of the grid. A little bit of contact there on Alex Solly in the number 12 challenge for the lead here, and Nelson King's through.
Oh, that's a great move. That is not loads of damage. It was just a touch. He's not got it done yet. He's got an overlap. Gets across the front of him. That was a great move. It was just a little rub, pushed him out wide, got the job done. But look, it's backed the rest of the field up, and the 3 wide coming into the first corner. It's going to have to be an undercut into Clervaux. No, it's all done. Brilliant that was. That was excellent. Nice and clean, not too harsh.
King from fourth on the grid will extend the lead. There's Frankie Taylor in his very distinctive car. Gets pushed a little bit wide, gets back on, hopefully back on safely, which he indeed does. 4 for the lead. Here we come down the back straight, heading towards Tower. Frankie Taylor running strongly in the championship. I reckon with Capozzoli's points going, Frankie Taylor's second in the standings now. He had a win here a couple of years ago. Has a look on the inside of Ovenden. Taylor surely has got that.
That was a great move. That was all on the brakes, trying to get these cars bled off the brakes to the apex, get it tucked in, and that was job done. But still, look, I say job done, he's still hanging him out, but now it's job done, and hopefully he can get through Croft and into Sonny. But look at that, he's still round the outside. That's a bit brave. Is that going to work? Probably isn't going to work. He's going to have to tuck back in, otherwise he'll lose a few more places. Coming to Sonny out, job done. Brilliant move.
Yeah, superb stuff. That's the mini racing we want to see, isn't it? King out front still from Hammond in second position. Nicky Taylor in third. So he does like this circuit. He's a quiet lad, is Nicky Taylor. Had a chat with him during COVID. We managed to get a Zoom chat with him, which Tom Ingram facilitated as well. And Nicky gaining in confidence, and he's going to be a driver that's certainly going to be looking to move up into the JCW Championship at some point. Solly on the outside run, and contact there. Nathan Edwards again. If he had no luck but bad luck for the Interclens car of Nathan Edwards, is the car that ended in the wall at Thruxton, you might remember last time, and involved in a spin there.
Yeah, so on board now with Capozzoli. We're just coming out of that because there's still a big fight on here. And tell you what, it's all about getting on the inside of your competitor as you're approaching these 2 apexes for the chicane through here. The car's bouncing off the chicanes. Looks a lot easier than usual. Back on board with Capozzoli. This is a great look at that. The traction on the inside. He's even got time to take his hand off the steering wheel and push his visor up. When you bounce across these curves, look at his head bouncing around. It's like on board with Lewis Hamilton with his tortoising or porpoising or whatever it's called. It's yeah, his mini's bottoming out, isn't it? But will this be the move? He'll get down the inside, late on the brakes, down a gear. Brilliant move, that was nice and clean. He's coming through, isn't he?
That was Michael Fitzgerald that he passed, one of the 2 Irish brothers, come over from Dublin to race, and they're great guys, the Fitzgeralds, always up for a chat, love their racing. It doesn't matter what happens, they're smiling away, thoroughly enjoy it, racing with Lawrence Davies' team, and well, I know looking forward to this race, so good move from our onboard.
Yeah, and that's what we like to see, isn't it? We like to see people enjoying the racing. You've got to remember this is a hobby, and if you're lucky to get paid from it, then yeah, it's a bonus. But definitely don't go racing if it's going to make you unhappy or you haven't got any money.
Nelson King for Graves Motorsport, the race leader. We had there at Clark Wells in the 711 car. Clark picking up a bit of damage yesterday, as did his teammate Lee Pearce, who got punted back to the end, and he was working hard overnight, Lee Pearce, to get the car done. Triple winner in the stock cars at Eastbourne on Wednesday night, and then he comes back and prepares these cars and was up at the sharp end. King extending that fastest lap, the race leader. What can they do to live with that guy? Meanwhile, before we come back to that, back with Capozzoli, who's now going to be chasing Barry Holmes and company.
Yeah, look at this. We've got 3 and 4 abreast. It's nice to see them pulling out of moves at apexes at high speed, because that's where you get cars spun round and into the gravel and safety cars, and just absolute nightmares happening in the middle of the pack. But this is good. A lot of respect, and you've got a little escape road there as well if you can't get 2 abreast. But there you go, you got 2 abreast. They were banging wheels through the chicane. They're still banging wheels down the big straights. No big movements. Look at this big bump draft down here.
Yeah, John McGladrigan, isn't it, coming through, following Frankie Taylor on the inside of Michael Paul. He's going to be able to pull off this move. There is McGladrigan at the front of this. Clark Wells is the purpley car down towards the back of that group. Kicks up some dirt for the followers. I think he's got the inside line on Mickey Paul there. Yeah, jobs are good, and I can't tell you how brave you need to be out the back here. Look at this. When you're going side by side like that, you can see the car beside you moving around. You just hope they don't get too much oversteer with the rear tyres just give way. It's a difficult pass, but these boys and girls making it look easy and going into sunny out now. And just this circuit is so cool to drive. I absolutely love it. Replay then. That looks like a bumper's going to come off, isn't it? Everyone running wide. That's weird, isn't it? Look like just coming back on track. That was a shame. That was. I think Sophie Wright it was. Yeah, I think she just had a bit too much throttle on and hit the grass, come back, but yeah, just trying to get back on circuit. Yellow flag being waved at the hairpin, and right, okay, so they're live pictures, I think, aren't they? Yeah, there's live. So I thought that was maybe a replay. So there's the yellow flag may have been for that bumper that was in the middle of the track. So loads of stuff going on, people hitting the curves, bouncing around. But yeah, hopefully that bumper has removed itself. That's a big impact at the front of that car, John McLaughlin. That must have been from before, isn't it? Yeah, and now he's got Max Coates all over him. So Coates is making good progress in the 71 car. 19th place at the moment. That's 18th and 19th. Max was saying, how difficult it was to glance on McGladrigan's car to take the shortcut, as does another one. Yeah, they're like skittles through there. It's good that they've got that escape route through there. It's, you know, it's a real pinch point. It didn't used to be that open from what I remember, so good to see people using that instead of taking each other out as they come through the exit. Capozzoli is right on it. Another place gained as he just went through our shot then. Yeah, that was Brendan Fitzgerald, the other brother, and has gone through good family sport, and the Irish lads had some good banter with them yesterday, saying when they do well, no one ever really talks to him. He said, if you have a bad meeting, people are always happy to come and talk to you about a bad meeting. Don't have a bad meeting then. That's a good idea. Yeah, a bit easier than that, isn't it? Yeah, Matt Hammond in the mix there with Taylor in 3rd position. So this is 2nd, 3rd, 4th position, Tom Ovenden. Then we've got Joe Wiggin, one of Joe Wiggins' team personnel. Malcolm McNabb won the guest race here when we had the Scottish Minis here in 2012, 10 years ago. I can't believe it was that long ago. Yeah, I was racing that weekend. Were you actually in that one? Yeah, but not in the Minis. Yeah, I was in the touring cars. Yeah, I remember any time that we've had these on while the touring cars have been on, everyone's on the pit wall watching because they know it's proper action, and that is what we've got down to the first corner. Here we go, Nicky Taylor on the outside run, but it's Ovenden through on the inside. Joe Wiggin wants to try and pass. He's in the yellow and blue car. Down behind them, it's Jack Byrne. Then we've got the number 20 car. Charlie Mann is in the mix as well. Quick flick back to Capozzoli, trying to come through the field and working hard. John McGladrigan, who we saw earlier on, side by side with Lee Pearce. I think he gave him a little bit of a nudge. Yeah, that's that car working really hard. Look back on board. Is that going to be one off the book? Yes, it is. And doesn't need to take any of that curb. And there'll be another one down here now as he's following McGladrigan. He's actually got a really badly damaged car. I wonder if that's bad, isn't it? Yeah, that's bad. I bet that's put a lot of pressure on the engine. He might come back to the right here. Good work. Well done. Good effort, that is. Shove it down a gear, pop it through on the inside, makes up a position. And I know our directors are always not pleased to see someone with a camera car at the back. That's the wrong word, but it's nice to see a bit of action from it. Yeah, it's great. Really gives you an insight in how it is for a racing driver, and we've definitely had some good stuff there. That car's what happens with damaged cars like that, if it starts overheating, the ignition will back itself off, so the engine isn't getting the right power. And I think that thing in a straight line aerodynamically, and also maybe a bit
overheating, so they could have a bit of a problem there.
Back with the front group, and Nelson King away, 3.1 seconds to the good over the new second place car, which comes out of the hairpin now. So Taylor down into third place. King is away.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Frankie Taylor still getting stuck in as well, so up ahead of Morgan Root.
I think that might have been Frankie Taylor's front bumper that we've seen maybe the yellow out for down the pit straight. Look at this, that's proper stuff. Frankie's getting fully involved in that 32 now. Side by side down to the first corner is the last thing you want to do.
Absolutely right, here he comes, he's going to have a go, maybe go for the flick back. He's all over the back of Frankie Taylor at the moment, so Morgan Root actually running, this is for 13th and 14th place. Alex J is ahead of them, still side by side here.
Frankie Taylor's car that's just in the back of this shot that we were looking at, the exhaust has come really loose on that car. I was just looking at brightly coloured car. This one coming towards us with no front. Look at the look at that. The exhaust is bouncing up and down. Right, Capozoli back on board. Down the inside of Maxi Coates. That's a nice clean move. Max is an absolute legend of a racer. Wow, Max, he's still there. What's going to happen? Will he shoot off left? No, it's Tap. How are you, mate? Oh my word, where have you come from? Oh, Solly, go on, my man. He's mugged you two off, lads. What a geezer.
He's done Coates at the same time. Alex Solly, brilliant stuff. And that's down towards the 20th position, so it's fighting absolutely everywhere with 3 minutes on the clock. King leads, Ovenden second, Nicky Taylor third, Joe Wiggin in fourth place, Jack Byrne, the top rookie, is in fifth place. Then it's the 20 Charlie Man Motorsport prepared car, Surrey-based driver next up, and these guys all over each other at the minute as they go down across the line again. But Nelson King from fourth on the grid, he's just away.
Wow, it's like he's in a different league. That's a different regulation, that car. Fair play to King, but he has just got on with it, and doing it on the live TV stream is the thing to do. Fair play to him. Let's hope he can get it across the line for his sake.
Yeah, he's certainly got the form and the reliability this year to have done that, but he's on even more of a roll to consolidate that championship lead. Capozoli getting stuck in again, now trying to get back at Alex Solly here as he comes out of Hawthorns. You see him head down into the chicane now, which he does. Trying hard.
They just makes me like, look at the bouncing. They're so stiff, these cars. I've driven a few of them, never raced them competitively, but they're so stiff. You can see them over the bump. Any bump they find.
Buffeting, because Tim will be after a drive, won't he?
Buffeting.
All right.
Yeah, that's Tim Harvey, isn't it?
Meanwhile, Taylor, this is for second position. So is Ovenden under pressure from Nicky Taylor. As you said, Taylor's won here before, the Norfolk-based driver, so he's got plenty of confidence. Wiggins still there in fourth, but second the closest. There is King out front in the Graves Motorsport prepared car. Ovenden in the 24 in second place, the Accelerate Motorsport car. And then Nicky Taylor down behind him in the 17, looking to make it a Graves 1-2 if he can, still piling the pressure on. Just working hard on these lines at the moment.
Looking a bit tasty, this. You can see, it's going to be proper, this. You can see Ovenden is really pushing hard. He's going to be energising those front tyres. Last lap board goes out. You're going to see an attack. You really are going to see an attack for that second place.
So back with Louis Capozoli having a good race there.
Oh, big sideways. Wow. Capozoli involved then. He was, those cars sideways all the way across the track. Has anyone got a wing mirror left?
Probably not. And I think you have to buy him from the championship, don't you? Alex J, this is, as I say, 19th birthday for him tomorrow. I think he was off for the party a little bit early. He'll get it back on track. Thankfully, nobody around. Safe entry back onto the circuit on this last lap. So damage there, as you said, wing mirrors have gone for a Burton pretty much all the way down the field. That is Sargent from Manning. Manning looks on the inside run here, up into Tower.
That's brave.
King still away the race leader with 3.5 seconds on the last lap, still side by side for these two.
I've got to say, that is so respectful to do that. You can run people on the grass and cause them a nightmare, but no, they'd rather go side by side in fifth gear around the back of the circuit. You lot need to have a word with yourselves. I'd be dispatching of those people as fast as I could, but no, let's still go side by side. Look at the understeer. They're still side by side. No, it's just about sorting itself out. Wow.
Paul Manning and Jonathan Sargent, great racing from the Mini Coopers. That is good to see. Meanwhile, out of the hairpin for the last time, it's going to be another win for Nelson King. This is going to be win number 7 of the 2022 season. And for the Graves Motorsport team, there is the checker. The gap was 3.5 seconds on the penultimate lap. As it crosses the line now, 3.1, the gap went down a little bit. Still fighting further down. Cappozzoli right in the mix here. Clark Wells been passed by Alex Solly, and he's still going to try and squeeze through. Lee Pearce coming back at him. The two teammates putting Cappozzoli in the sandwich there.
Yeah, for about 79th place.
Well, Lee Pearce goes through. Now, let's see, that was Clark Wells got 17th out of that. Cappozzoli 18th.
Oh, Clarky Wells. We like Clark, don't we?
We do like Clark Wells. What a character. Remember that time at Thruxton.
Wow. Brilliant that was. Amazing. So, yeah, you can see the seat moving quite a lot in the car. It's not actually moving, it's flexing. That's a great onboard, that, and I'm glad that we've given these guys the they've given the onboard. But look at Nelson King, absolutely beautiful. He stroked it home in the 95.
He did. So great win for Graves Motorsport. If he goes into the JCWs next year and he wants to switch a team, the ideal team for him, of course, would be Hybrid Tune, because it would be Nelson Andwella.
Oh my word!
Dad jokes are back.
Right. Cheers for that, Dad. Honestly, I don't need.
That was a good one. Come on, that was a good one.
It was all right. That was. You're back on form, you are, lad.
No, definitely.
Flipping heck. Great result. Absolutely mega. And again, like you say, he's the benchmark, isn't he?
Very much so at the moment. Yeah, looking forward to seeing these boys. And we had it. We proved that they could do it. A race without a safety car. Yeah,
absolutely stunning. And I will personally say, well done as a racing driver. Difficult that when you've got that many cars on the grid, loads of momentum, loads of fans here just giving it the big clap for the boys and girls on track. Absolutely stunning. Great scenes from Croft. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, they need to give themselves a pat on the back. So this was at the end. So Cappozzoli, our camera car, you can see him in them pastel colours, the 199. He gets squeezed, doesn't he? By, I think that's Pearce that squeezes him.
Yeah, Pearce and Wells, two teammates.
Yeah, so they were having a bit of a banging match. There was nothing in that, but look, it does actually give the other guys chance to attack. This is great on board. So, this is the last lap, and that noise was just him going over the curb. Little bit of a squeeze. Solly getting a squeeze. Solly must be thinking, right, nice one, I'm done. I'll just brake later. I'll turn in. But look at this. Cappozzoli goes, I'll have a bit of this. Comes out the throttle, so patient. Who's this on the left? Bang! Oh, shit! Oh, sorry, mate. How's it going anyway? What's a good time round here? 4:30. That's when we can go home. That was a proper good effort. That was a dad joke. Good on board, that.
That was brilliant on board, and I'm sad that Louis started at the back. He was up at the sharp end. He was running in the top 3 of the championship, but a great race. Round 8 of the Quaife Mini Challenge Trophy here at Croft is another win, the 7th win of the season for Nelson King. Tom Ovenden takes 2nd from Nicky Taylor. Joe Wiggin in 4th ahead of Jack Byrne and Charlie Mann. Ollie Meadows in 7th, great result for him. Matt Hammond 8th from Tyler Lidsey up into the top 10 for MRM. And then Paul Manning in 10th place. 11th goes to Jonathan Sargent ahead of Frankie Taylor. Alex J in 13th from Morgan Root and Mike Paul. Alex Solly 16th from Clark Wells and Louis Cappozzoli. James Parker 19th and Lee Pearce in 20th. Max Coates was 21st from John McGladrigan, and Brendan Fitzgerald. Barry Holmes was in 24th from Lauren Taylor. Luca Marinoni Osborne 26th from Mick Fitzgerald. Sophie Wright 28th. And then we get into the drivers that had problems. Ben Jenkins and Nathan Edwards earlier on. They've got a little bit of a break now before we head to Thruxton. And as we head to Thruxton, the championship table looks like this. Nelson King 101 points clear of Nicky Taylor, with Matt Hammond 3rd. Tom Ovenden next up from Charlie Mann and Alex Solly. Lee Pearce 7th from Joe Wiggin and Jack Byrne. Alfie Glennie is in 10th.